That's right. Fancy intro, Albert. Fancy intro. We finally got a fancy intro. Yeah. Guys, here we go. We are in the final couple of hours of the Critter Kickstarter. If you are not a backer, now is the time. Why? Because when this thing all wraps up tonight and we have everybody finally with our final tally numbers, the amount of backers that we have, we are going to do our raffle tonight. Just like we did about 10 days ago for the first raffle. We're going to give away 9 copies of a special art edition Critter book. And the only way to get in to the raffle is to be a backer. What's going on, guys? Here we go. It's the final night, the final hours even of Critter. You can see we've had a nice surge today, right on the edge of 19,000, which would be awesome. Right on the edge of 300 backers, which would be awesome. We'll see if we can get there. If anyone, wherever you're watching tonight, we're on few different spaces. Wherever you're watching, the link to the campaign is in that description. So you are free to click it, check it out, watch it as we just talk about it, or you can just go do it on your own, come back if you have questions. But we need $349 to cross 19,000, which would be fantastic. And we need 9 more backers to hit that magic 300 number. And with us tonight, of course, is co-host extraordinaire,
Hello.
Myers. I'm sorry. What does the shirt say? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry for what I said when I was hungry.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah. Yeah.
I will admit, when I first bought it and I put it on and I wore it, my husband said, "That ain't no shit." So, hi, Albert. He says I don't just get hangry, I get feral. I'd argue, but it's probably true.
I have scars.
Ignore the peanut gallery in the back.
So you're a backer.
I am a backer.
See,
Hi,
that's
Trish.
how easy it is.
Yes.
It's just that easy, folks. It's just that easy.
It's just that easy.
And you're a member of Patreon.
I am.
Which means not only are you part of the raffle, but you will be getting Patreon perks. You are backer number 4.
I am.
Number
yes.
4. Number 4. Yeah. So Patreon perks coming your way as well. For those that don't know, Patreon perks are anyone who wants to join our Patreon at any level, the $5 level or the $10 level. You get a Patreon perk. Now, in the past, Patreon perks have been mainly original art sketch cards by folks like Chris Enott and CB Zane and who else? JT Malloy and Nia Ruffino did some for us. And so we've given those away. We've also done some fancy metal cards that we've given away. And those just go to the Patreon members that are backers of our campaigns as well. So if you want bonus items, you need to join Patreon. And I'm going to, one day I'll remember that I have this stupid logo. Doink, right there. Join Patreon, patreon.com/Big Dog Inc. Super easy. But yeah, tonight we will be here. Let me put this up right now. Tonight we're going to be raffling off. So this was stretch goal number 5. Stretch goal number 5 gets you that art card. All right. So it'll be on a nice matte paper and kind of like original art on a little trading card. That's the 17,000 stretch goal. That if you pledge to the campaign, you're just going to get that card. But
everybody gets it.
Yes, that's right. But if you are lucky, you will win that image, but it'll be presented on a matte paper cover that we are doing 10 of those. One of them goes to the archive, and we give the other 9 away to random backers that we will do a spinaroonie wheel here with you guys a little later. And 9 of you will get a chance to win that. Now, 9 people won an earlier raffle as well, about 10 days ago. And when the campaign is done, I will double check to make sure that all of those guys are still active backers, because we do get dropouts. If any of them happen to be dropouts, we will re-raffle their books as well and make sure that they all go out. But we have 9 new raffle winners tonight. And I
imagine you'll do the same for this round as well, just in case any of the winners tonight, if they do happen to drop out for whatever reason, then it all gets re-raffled, right?
That's it.
Yep.
That's it.
But don't hold your breath, people.
Yeah. When we did this, we've done this a few times on different campaigns now, and we have not had that happen so far. But you never know.
Could. Stranger things have happened. It
of
could.
Course. Anything is possible. Anything is
exactly.
Possible. So we'll keep an eye on the campaign here as we chit chat tonight. Anybody has any questions about the campaign, you're free to ask. Anybody has any questions about anything Big Dog Inc., I'm going to run through some general news for you here for a little bit, so we get you all caught up on some stuff. But if you got questions, you guys are welcome to shout it out. You do not have to be present to win, because we just know what you're getting. This isn't like the 200th episode where we didn't know what you'd want to buy. In this case, if you win, you just win, and we'll toss the book into your rewards pack, and you'll be good to go. So have no fear. You do not have to be here to win this evening. All right. Okay. And we just got another backer, which should be appearing on the screen any moment. So we are now going to be 8 backers away from the campaign, or from 300. Let's see. Yeah, who was that? Let's see if it's anybody that's like watching right now, or
is it a new person?
Right. Let's see. Oh, it just says Steven. I don't know who Steven is. So. That could be anybody, but thank you, Steven.
Steven, whoever you are.
That's right. Whichever Steven you happen to be.
Exactly.
Yes, absolutely. Welcome, and thank you for getting in there. There he goes, Pop. There it goes, Pop. So a couple of quick things. I have gotten back the proofs for printing for Princesses versus Zombies and Ursa Minor. So those are going to be officially on press this week, actually being printed now that the printer has all that stuff lined up. Also the Critter Trade paperback, they're doing all that at the same time. So all of that is good to go and ready. As soon as that stuff is running and they have an estimated finishing and so on, I will pass that along to you guys so that you'll know that when we should have them. And then once I know when roughly we should have them, I can give you a more definitive answer as to when you will have them. But I would guess sometime June-ish, just to give them time to actually do all of that printing and ship it all to us, because we're basically right at May now. So I would assume towards the end of May, early June, and then we'll start shipping this stuff out to you. I have talked to a couple of people about potentially coming in and helping me ship this stuff too. So, try and help and move through these things a little quicker than just by myself. So if I can get a little help, that'll be great. Much appreciated. But yeah, I'm assuming sometime June-ish we'll be all caught up on those things. And then also Critter 22 is just about wrapped as well. Headwind is wrapping up colors. That'll go right into letters, and then we'll turn that right back around. So we'll probably be able to even ship that right towards June-ish as well. So a buttload of books are going to be coming your way very, very fast. And Critter 23, this book that we're doing right now, the art is all finished. And as soon as Headwind finishes colors on 22, he's going right into 23 so that we can keep that on track to ship July, August-ish, which is when we'll be doing the BD 14 anthology, which one of those stories is already finished artistically. Carlos Reno has already finished all 10 of his pages for the Alice's Wonderland, the Oz spinoff. He's come back. He's of course been doing Oz for us for many years. He came back to do those 10 pages. Those are all finished, and I'm sending those to Gat Melvin, who's been coloring all of Carlos's stuff for the last few years. So that's going to Gat tomorrow to get started on that. So by the time we get to the BD 14 anthology, good portion of that's going to be already finished. So that's going to move fast. So all of our infrastructure is speeding up now. Scripts are done way ahead of time. Yeah, and Omar, as soon as Omar finishes the last couple of pages, he's got a couple of edits to do on the last few pages of Critter 23. He's going right into 24 because that script's already done as well. So we're trying to put some real speed and get ahead of everything so that when we actually do these campaigns, we don't run into these bumps in the road anymore.
Go Speed Racer. Speed Racer.
Yeah. So it's all good news. It's all good news, guys. It's all good news. And then of course in June, as we are shipping all this stuff to you, we're going to be doing the National Drive-In Day featuring Skateboard Day and Catnip Awareness Day. This will be our camp crossover book for the year.
Another part of the BD 365.
Yep, celebrating 3 different days in one book. So normally these have been 8-page books, but this one's going to be 12. It's a little bit bigger, and we are actually going to have Nia Ruffino doing this book for you guys. The interiors are going to be done by Nia Ruffino. We also have covers already lined up for this stuff. Mars Foong has turned in her rough for a cover, and Eisenado Adamar is back with us after a break. He's got a cover for us. I've talked to MR Gunn about a cover. We have Narcelio Sousa right there, and I have one more thing that I'm trying to get lined up. I don't know who's going to do it. We may have a new artist joining us. That is a possibility, but I also have feelers out to some of our previous folks. So this will be launching June 6th and running to the 21st. June 6th is National Drive-In Day, and then the 21st is Skateboard Day. So that's why we're going to run those two. And then Catnip Awareness Day, I want to say, is like the 14th. I have it on my chart somewhere. So that's what we got hanging out in the June months.
Right, well, it's kind of like BD 13, BD 14. You got 3 in 1.
That's right. Yeah. Of course, everything we do is fun.
Yep.
We didn't start early. Well, we're early. We're early for the CBSN, but we're not early for what we do here. Also, we're not. Something weird happened because we're not on the CBSN tonight because StreamYard is not connecting to groups right now. It's only connecting to pages.
Lovely.
Yeah, which was a little strange. I spent a little while trying to figure out if I did something wrong, but I went through all the setup process, and there are no group connections right now. So clearly something's gone amiss. Okay. And they're going to have to fix that, but we'll get it back. We'll get it back as soon as they get it back. But
you found us, Freddie. So yeah, that's all that matters.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. No, it's not bad weather. It's just in the system, like groups are not an option to connect.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, I can connect everywhere else, all my pages and to YouTube and all that stuff, but
Facebook and StreamYard apparently are once again on the outs.
That's right.
They're having relationship issues.
So what else can I tell you? So I guess I came back from C2E2. I went there for Friday only. I had
a good time.
I was everywhere. God, it was everywhere. I was trying to move fast and meet people and still have time to do what I needed to do. Finally got to.
Well, Tom was a social butterfly. You were a social hummingbird.
Yeah, that was it. Couple of cool things happened, including I got to meet Elias Chitsaudis for the first time, and
very cool.
Yeah, so he was very awesome. Told him that we love what he does, and everybody's digs on him, and we want to get him back for next year for our 15-year anniversary. He was very open to it, yeah, let's go. Tell me what you need. So that was awesome.
Permitting, he's down with it.
Yeah. I mean, we might only get him once a year, like when we get Mike DeBalfo once a year or something. But
we'll take it.
They're open to doing it. So I'm yeah, we'll set it up. So got to meet Elias, ran into Pat Shand, who I didn't even know was going to be there. And that was great because I've been talking to Pat for a while about something special for 2026. And he was the first one that I pitched it to. And the instant I told him about it, he immediately got it. He was on board in an instant. And
that sounds like Pat.
Yeah. And so I came, and that was last year when I talked to him about it. So I was look, we're right on the verge of having to line this up. Are you still in? And he was 100%. Just tell me what you need. And so we're going to start setting that up. We'll tell you guys a little more about that as we get into next year, which is of course our 15-year anniversary. Who else did I run into? Talked to Ryan Kincaid, who is now lined up for a critter cover his first ever critter cover. That was the thing. It was funny. I told him like 15-year anniversary. We want to get you on some stuff. He's like, critter. I'm like, yeah. 25 issue 25 will be January. And if that works on your schedule, he's like, yep. Tell me when you need it. I was like, October, November, no problem. So Ryan Kincaid will do his first ever critter cover awesome. for next year. And he'll probably do some other stuff too, but he's going to at least do that. Who the hell else did I talk to? Dan Mendoza, Bill McKay were over there. Talked to those guys. I saw Marissa Pope, who wants to do some more work, so we might be getting her on later on in the year. Man, who else? I saw so many people.
You were a busy bee.
Yes. Yeah, and big thanks to Henri Compton, who got me the badge to get in and chill out with everybody as well. So I was hanging out with him for a while. Oh, JT Malloy was over at his booth, so got to talk to JT too. And then Jesse Wichman was there. I didn't realize he was going to be there. So Jesse's now coming back into the art fold. And so he and I talked for about 45 minutes about a lot of things. And yeah,
that doesn't surprise. I don't think that surprises any of us.
Yeah, Jesse is one of those guys who gets it, and he's very open to things. He has ideas of his own, and he started pitching things to me that I was unprepared for.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Plus he's just a character.
Yeah. I can't. I'll just say this. We are going to get him for covers for next year. That we talked about. I told him again, 15-year anniversary, let's come in. We've got Penny for Your Soul. We've got some things that'll, work for you. And he was like, yeah, we can do that. And then he was like, what about this? And I was like, what? And he just threw it out there, and I was like, Jesus Christ. Yes.
I swear he's the king of curveballs.
Yeah,
in a good way usually, but he's just outside the box. Let's see what sticks. Yep.
I was like, really? Okay. And so that will be 2028, folks. This is how far out we are, right? We are doing so. I put together so much shit in 9 hours of walking this floor with all of these different people. Like, it was like we got 2025, 2026, 2027, and then this thing with Jesse is now 2028. Because the way that we do things now is every year we kind of have a focus of things, and so because we know what the next few years are going to be, kind of has to be, we have to maintain these focuses. But when we get through that, it's like, okay, if we're that far out, we can really plan on it. And Jesse was like, good, because I'm slow anyway. And I was like, well, okay, that's fine. We can do that. So I don't know when we're going to talk about that, but
But you got it in your brains, and you got it kind of,
Yeah, so. I think you guys will lose your shit when we finally,
no doubt. Yeah.
When we finally talk about it. So yeah, just something. If you're on Patreon, you're going to know a hell of a lot faster than anybody else. I'll tell you that. And because it's going to take a while for him to do what he's doing, you'll probably get to watch it happen. In the background. So again, one more reason, join Patreon so you can kind of, get all of the, the way ahead news of things.
Any way you look at it, though, it is really cool, exciting stuff. We have things to look forward to, which is always fun. So,
absolutely, yeah. Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Okay. So that's I'm trying to think if there's anything else that we did that I can kind of bring up. Oh yeah, the other thing was my publisher, guys that I'm working for, Dren Publications. They were there, Michael Dolce and James Massia. I am doing a book for them that is part of a sort of universal concept that I pitched to them based on something that they had shown me. I was like, oh, well, you need to do it this way. And so they did it, and they did a book a few years ago called Plan 59 from Outer Space. And basically the idea is that, like Plan 9 from Outer Space was like in the 50s, right? And so the idea is that the aliens have continued to make more and more plans, to sort of corral humanity from destroying itself and potentially destroying the universe, and so on and so on. And so through that concept that I pitched to them, this thing that I call the Planiverse, now they can kind of move through time and so on, and basically tell whatever stories they want to tell. So they told a Plan 59 from Outer Space, which took place in like 2010 or something like that. The 2000 teens, something like that. And then they came to me last year when I was swamped, so I couldn't really get it done back then, but I was like, I can do it this year. I can put it together. They were like, do you want to do Plan 39 from Outer Space, which would be the 80s, specifically 1989? And so I was like, immediately, like, yes, I can absolutely do Plan 39 from Outer Space. The script is finished. It's turned in. It is approved. It's done. And I'll show you this, because this is the little teaser that we did. Where did it go? Right here. This is a little teaser that we put together for it, with the old 80s style logo. Dren Productions presents Tom Hutchison's Plan 39 from Outer Space. Where were you in 1989? Where were you when they returned? So yeah. So that's something that is also going to be next year. Probably first quarter sometime next year. They're about to launch in about 2 weeks. They're going to launch Plan 79 from Outer Space. That is the next one they're doing. And it looks like it's going to be 3 issues. So that will allow Plan 39 from Outer Space to launch around this time next year. So the art that you see, that's done by Ricardo Silva. That's the guy who I did a short story for Plan 39 when they did Plan 59. It was a little 3-page backup story just to kind of tease what Plan 39 could be, would be, should be. And then when Plan 59 was a success, that's when they were like, okay, Tom was right again. Tom was right again.
Big surprise.
So I actually talked to Ricardo couple of days ago, like, do you want to do the book? Like, do you want to come back and do this series, the whole thing? And he's on. So that art is what you see. That's a black and white. It'll obviously be regular color, but he's back. So the art that you saw in that Plan 39 teaser will be what you see in the main book. So I'm super excited for that to get started, because they're going to get started like right now. Like, they want to get super ahead and have the book done, so that when it's ready to go, it's ready to go. So I'm going to be working on the second script here pretty soon, so I'm ahead of them. But this is such a fun book. It's in a way, it's kind of like the Jaws book. It's kind of like It's Only an Island if you look at it from water, because it's just loaded with Easter eggs of stuff. And not just Plan 9 stuff, but just like science fiction, pop culture stuff.
I was going to say it.
Yeah. I mean, it's just
if
littered
you're a sci-fi,
with
fantasy, or pop culture fan, then everything else, then you're going to be looking for the stuff. So.
And in particular, UFO alien stuff.
Okay, gotcha.
When I started to write this, I put myself like in the UFO frame of mind. It was binging the X-Files, and it was watching Project Blue Book, and watching like Ancient Aliens on the Discovery Channel, and just
all sorts of fun research.
Yeah, just give me everything UFO stuff. Like, I want it all. And And there was a lot, and I've always been, ever since I was a kid, I was all into this stuff anyway. So there was a whole lot of stuff that I already knew. There was a buttload of stuff that I didn't know. There was a few things that I remembered, and I was like, that's perfect. I can add this in. And so it's really, the whole book is like Plan 9, Ed Wood, the X-Files, history, like historical sightings, pop culture references, all of that like put together, and plus just Easter eggs forever.
All steamrolled into
yeah. And so it's it I think it worked really well. The guys that read it thought it worked really well.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah. I think it will be. Cool. So I'm looking forward to get to issue 2, and see what happens, because I don't know yet. I don't really know how we're doing this yet. There's a lot of things that I'm just kind of flying by the seat of my pants. It's
so
kind of like when
normal.
Yeah, it's kind of like when I wrote the thing for Dynamite, right? I was kind of like, okay, here's the idea. Like, what's your idea?
They said, we like it, go for it.
Yeah, and the response was, yeah, it's fine. And so in the case of this, it was like, yeah, it's fine.
You're like,
okay. I guess that's good. I guess it's good that there were no real notes. And now I can kind of just really tear into it and use all of that and move forward. So it was really fun to do. I'm excited to get to it, and it'll come out next year during our 15-year anniversary. So that'll be interesting to be able to have that happening while everything else is happening.
Yes.
So yeah. So there's that. And I mean, even the design is multiple things for me, from different science fiction things, including the big collar. The big collar is, for those that know Godzilla, that big collar comes straight out of Godzilla versus Monster Zero, and the aliens had these big collars. So we took what they did in Plan 9, which was really hokey, but we maintained their logo, the little lightning bolt logo. That's straight out of the movie. But then we just kind of upgraded the suits, so the suits are a little more flashy and sci-fi, rather than looking like Hugh Hefner robes and stuff.
Hefner robes in space.
Yeah. I did. There is one aspect of this that I created for this planiverse that it's being called now, which I thought was a really kind of smart idea. I'll pat myself on the back. I think it was a smart idea. So the interesting thing, though, when I thought about this the other day, is because we have multiple writers doing this stuff, and we're writing these books in varying orders, right? Technically, there's a continuity, like 1959 to 1999 or whatever. There's technically should be like a continuity, but because it's all being written just randomly, there's gonna be things that probably butt heads from time to time, and don't quite Tetris together perfectly. But then I realized that that's basically the Ed Wood method of making films. It's not about the little details. It's about the big picture, So I thought that was super fun. Yeah. I thought that was like a super fun thought process. Like, we didn't intend that, but as I started to think about, like, oh shit, we need to like line up our continuity and make sure things can be referenced and so on. I was like, no, screw it. Let's just go and we'll put things in, and if they get used later, great. And if they don't, it'll seem like it was forgotten down the line or whatever. Like,
forgotten, or it's like, then it just brings in it's more conspiracy theory. Oh,
that's right. Wow. That's right. Did it even really
this change? Did it really happen? What are they covering up? What did they do?
Yeah. So that was a cool, like, inadvertent thing for me. So yeah. Why watch Files?
Watch the Y
you know,
files. Yeah.
the X-Files is the X-Files is great because it dives into so many different paranormal things. It's not just aliens. I mean, it's everywhere. It is all over the place. I mean, they did like vampires and just, I mean, they were all over the place. So I love the X-Files, but the X-Files was primarily, I started watching it mainly to get a sense of pop culture FBI again, because I don't really watch like cop shows and stuff. So the only time I ever really watched anything like that was the X-Files. And because I have FBI agents in this story, I needed a sense of that FBI slash,
protocol kind
the
of
smoking man, the guys in the
exactly.
shadows, like
the ambience to feel.
Exactly. I wanted to go back into, I think this is going to be a great Gen X book, because for those of us that are Gen X, we all know we don't trust the government. We never have. Nope.
It's all been big giant conspiracy theory.
We will readily just believe that aliens exist regardless of what they tell us. Like it's just like, we don't believe anything you're saying. So that's part of the story. Like there's one little scene in there where this woman that they just got interrogated, and she was like, "How did you know who we are?" And the dude just looks at her as like, "We're the government." And that's just plays back into all that stuff where it's like, we know what you're up to, we know what you're doing.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, and so all of that kind of stuff goes in there, which is fun. So hopefully you guys will dig it. I think it's going to be a cool little fun thing, and one more opportunity to do something for somebody else.
I do like little taglines on the cover you were showing there, but it's like, where were you in 1989? I'm like, I know exactly where I was in 89. It's
well, and that's
I can neither confirm nor deny.
And that's one of the other fun parts about the book is I don't really use like dates and times,
right? Because you don't want to be specific, right?
Well, I do want to be specific, but I don't want to just be like, we're in 1989 and hers. So in the beginning, I found a way to place us in time without using dates. And basically, so there's this opening scene where it's like, hey, we're in Hollywood and, sunsets and blah, 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 and whatever. And it's sort of a description of where we are. And then there's a caption that says, Michael Keaton is Batman. So we know where we are without knowing where we are, So I thought that was
you're
cool.
Right. That really is going to be very much geared toward, it's going to be a Gen X kind of thing.
100%.
Because others, obviously, that's iconic enough. Other people are going to get that, and they're going to get that time frame. But those of us that grew up with that, we're immediately, aha! It's going to take us back. We're going to be all, what was I doing when Michael Keaton was Batman?
It was fun to just examine and journey through 1989. And the funny thing is that the 80s are not what we think they were. That we don't remember them properly. When you actually go and do research for the 80s, you don't know anything. You don't know anything. You're living through the rose glasses of our nostalgia for the pieces that we remember, but like the architecture and the design and stuff, like it's very different when you go do like legitimate, like show me what it was. And so that was fun to do and kind of get a reset in my brain of like, oh yeah, I do remember that was like weird like that.
I always get a little bit sometimes of, I get something in my head and then I'll go back and I'll find pictures of that. And I'm like, what the hell is this?
Well, a lot of times,
because it's like, again, pop culture is so infused that sometimes it's like, it's not quite there. And so I'm like,
and a lot of it is, and a lot of it's just, a lot of it's like design thoughts and items. There's a lot of stuff that is really actually 90s stuff.
Yeah.
But it was like 1989, 1990. So it kind of,
right,
like
at
there was a culture shift in there that we kind of don't know where the wall is. And so there's a lot of stuff that we think is the 80s, but it's really the 90s. And I had to kind of, pull back a little bit on some of that stuff. So it was fun. Yeah, Hulk Hogan has a full head of hair. That's right. That's
Sounds like
the 80s.
a fun challenge though of trying.
It is. It is. It is. Yeah, and I'm glad that they liked it. So I think I kind of basically have free reign to just run now, because if they like that, then the rest of it's going to fall into place pretty easily. You have to figure out how a way to introduce all this stuff in an entertaining way, and sometimes that's not easy, but
No.
I think we did it. I think it's good, and it ends with a nice. Nice big moment that you want to have, cliffhanger, obviously, because it's a 3-issue series, but
A continuation.
but it's got a cool final moment. Yeah.
All right.
So yeah.
Well, it'll be another fun thing to look forward to. So.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So here's this, guys. This is for the BD14 anthology. That's not the art. That's Brian Peterson's art from a couple of years ago.
Right.
But the book is Allison. It is written by Lori Calcaterra and art by Carlos Reno and Gat Melvin. So the guys who did the series, the Oz series for us back in the day, came back to do this book for y'all. Quick little 10 pages. So it's going to be it's a I don't know what you call this. It's not a flashback. It's not a prequel, but it's a story that it's kind of like TikTok, the miniseries we did for TikTok, where it happens sort of before and at the same time that Dorothy kind of is around and comes into town, right? So this story is kind of the same way. It's sort of right after issue 2 of the original series, right after Dorothy and the Scarecrow and like they all bailed out and the witch shows up and she's like, what the hell happened? It happens right then is when that story happens. Okay. And Lori did a great job, and Carlos, the art, I mean, Jesus, it's ridiculous as always. So that's fantastic. And then I'm writing the Critter story that we're doing.
Writing or have written?
Have written. It's done.
Okay, just checking.
It's done. It's been done.
That's what I figured. Yeah.
We have a new guy who's going to be doing the art for that, the interiors. Assuming it lines up, it should. He told me that he'd be ready to go, and I was like, okay. So we won't put him on the spot yet, but new guy who's really good. He's been around on some indie stuff a little bit.
Okay.
So I was like, yeah, this is good. Let's put you on this book. And then
Tom once again bringing in new blood.
That's right. And then the other story is I'm super excited to have Barry Dutter come work for us. Barry is an old Marvel Marvel writer from way back in the day, including the infamous Nightcat book that we all kind of know when we see it, and has that nice Joe Jusko cover on it. So I've known Barry for a while just through Facebook, and I was like, do you do writing? Like, do you want to do writing? And he was like, yeah. And like, what do you want to do? He's like, well, I kind of tend to do like kind of humor style things. And I was like, I got you.
Perfect.
This is kind of what we want to do. And he was on it. So great little fun script. It'll be the first official Blue Jay story. We've had Chloe hanging around, but this will be the first official Blue Jay story.
It's going to make some people out there very happy.
Yes, Freddie Hernandez. And Brian Peterson is coming back. He's been busy for a while, but Brian Peterson is back to do a very, very special set of Blue Jay covers as well. So also make Freddie you'll
very
be fine.
Happy.
You'll be fine.
His wallet may not be so happy, but he will be very happy.
Yeah, this should be amazing. I really want him to get on it because I want to see it myself. But when I showed it to him, he was like, "Yeah, we can do that." I was like, "Okay, good. This will be good." And
Brian
then
is once again going to be chained to Tom's desk.
That's right. That's right. That's right. And then trying to
Exactly.
think of what else we had. Oh, we're gonna have a new guy. We are gonna have a new guy for sure.
Yet another new guy.
Yeah, on covers.
Okay.
New guy who's been doing the rounds a little bit for
Another Facebook stalking you've been doing?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, just checking.
Yes. And so he's going to be starting pretty soon. So again, I won't put him on the spot just yet, but great stuff. Great stuff. I'm sure you guys have seen his stuff around. I was immediately, as soon as I saw it, I was like, yep, I need it. Need it right now. So he's coming on. So we'll have that. And then the crazy one, I got a guy that I never would have expected I could get. And he is a big Marvel guy. He is a big Image guy. I have been messaging him for a while. Like, maybe can we at some point tell me when? You tell me when. And he finally said, yeah, June. And I was like, oh, fuck. So, so yeah, so I'm super excited about that. And Patreon people will get to see that as it happens, but that'll be for next year.
Okay.
I already know what he's drawing. It is for next year. We'll have a really cool, Marvel artist Image guy that most of you probably know. He's a really good artist, and I'm super excited. So that's one of the things that I'm trying to do right now is kind of try and line up a few sort of, big celebratory folks, to mix in with all of our, and that's the other thing that I've been doing is tapping on everybody's shoulder. Like, look, I know a lot of you guys are busy. Can I get one thing from you next year? We want to celebrate you guys as well as celebrating, the company. Tell me your schedule and we'll
see
get
if we can fit something in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why Jesse's going to do at least one thing. Ryan Kincaid's going to do something. We're going to get, Chris Enot's going to do something, on and on and on and on. So
cool.
While we have all of our kind of core guys right now that we use on a regular basis, we're definitely going backwards to celebrate the people that got us here too. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Celebrate the past
cameo folks. Yep.
and the present and the future all at the same time. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Look at you all rolling it all in.
Yes. Yes. You bought the previous books. Is that the Plan 59? Is that what you're talking about, Eddie? I assume I think that's the only thing I talked about. I do have a Dynamite project that they have greenlit that I'll probably start writing late next year, late this year. And then they can do whatever they want with it whenever they're ready to go. So that exists as well. But I'm not on that yet. I have research to do for that first. So
more research.
Yeah, I kind of gotta do what like the X-Files with the alien thing. I kind of got to put myself in a very specific mode to be able to pull this thing off, because it's something that I've never written before.
I was going to say, is it normally outside of your normal?
Yes.
A little outside of? Okay.
Yes.
Interesting. All right.
And it's something that I have, I have awareness of, but in order to do this right, I need to kind of go on a deep dive, and really bring out, the details that this is going to require.
Which is interesting because you have a fairly broad, variety of interests and experience and knowledge and everything else. So if something's not truly within what you normally do, it's like,
Yeah. This is definitely something I have not done before.
Well, all right.
Yeah. This is a genre or a, whatever you want to call it, that I have not done before. So
interesting.
So yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I guess we'll just have to wait and be surprised.
That's correct. That's correct. Because I haven't even written. I have a plot. I have a really basic,
like a synopsis, a plot,
bullet point. Here's the things, and they were like, "Yeah, that sounds fine." So now I just got to do the details.
Your 30-second elevator pitch.
Exactly. Yep.
Yep.
So now I got to just build the details and work the rest of it out. But I got to finish the critter book for Omar first, so that he can tear through 24. It's mostly done. Oh, another backer is
Yay.
about to hit. So Omar's ready to go for 24 because we want to do that in like September, October, something like that. And then, I did talk to Bun Leung while I was at C2E2 as well.
Oh, okay.
Bun, because I talked to him briefly about like actually doing a book, like interiors. And he's like, yeah, I absolutely want to do it. And as soon as as soon as that kind of came up, I was like, I know exactly what I want to do. 100% I know what I want to do. And so he said that he's usually comes available in the later part of the year, like November, December, January, when the cons kind of shut down. And I was like, that's perfect. I can be ready for you. And we'll do that. We'll absolutely do that 100%. So we're going to get a little Bun Leung story as well. And so for something next year. And so that'll be awesome. What's your question? I didn't see a question. Oh, this romantic cowboy fighting dinosaurs. I have not done any of that.
Well, that maybe that's out of your wheelhouse, so that could be that's a contender potentially.
Yeah, I haven't done any of that. That is that's fair. That is fair. So yeah, so Bun's game for that, which is cool. You know, when I did that image of him with the Critterverse, or not the Critterverse, but his Chibi-verse. I put all of his Chibis together as like a big image for his Chibi-verse, and he thought that was fantastic. And then he himself started editing himself. He's like, everybody's looking to the left. Like, I need to change up my artistic, thing.
He was used to creating crates in a silo, and then now you put them all together. You're like, wait, they have to work together.
yeah. He does like one or two at a time, and then all of a sudden, all of them are that way. Yeah,
that's too funny.
So yeah, so that was funny. But yeah, Bun was there as well. So yeah, so that's what we got going on. Patreon folks also got. There's another backer about to pop on. Patreon folks also got a view of something super new, not too long ago, and that will actually debut in a very small sense in the BD14 anthology. It was something,
a page or a panel, or
it basically, yeah. It's something that's going to be part of the critter story that I have.
Okay.
That as I was writing it, I came across this character that I needed for this thing, and for a minute I thought like, well, I mean, it just can be a throwaway character. It doesn't really matter. But then as I started to write the book or the story, and as it continued on, I realized that it was an opportunity for something else, and I did a little mental gymnastics and started to build what this thing could be. And so it will officially debut sort of in BD14 anthology. So Narcio Sousa actually, Narcio Sousa is actually right now sort of designing the character, and we'll probably, I'm debating whether to put a cover on it because it's kind of a smaller thing, but it's a smaller thing now that can grow into a larger thing down the line. So
all I gotta say is the Patreon post you made, that is a tease of a tease.
Yeah,
I'm looking at it going, what the Tom?
Yeah, what the hell is this? Yeah. It all just it was just this wham. There it is, and I couldn't let it go, and so I just started developing it. I was like, I don't know what we're gonna do with this exactly, but it's going to exist. And so
if it's going to exist, you're gonna have fun with it.
That's right. 100%. So we'll see what comes of it, but you guys will get a taste of it in BD14. So and what's interesting is the BD14 thing has become, with just 2 issues, it's become sort of this launching point for these new characters. Because last year it was the first appearance of Dawn and Daisy, the first appearance of Jasmine. And this year, it's the first appearance of this character. It's the first appearance of Allison for the Oz thing, and it's the first story for Blue Jay. So it's becoming sort of a launching
Series of
point for
firsts.
things.
Launching point,
Yeah. So that's kind of an interesting thought process. Yeah. Again, I don't know what any of that means, but
because Tom is by the seat of his pants winging it as usual.
It's all just algorithm. It's just, whatever happens to happen.
It's all just the 72 different notepads that Tom has scattered around the house.
Yeah, there's a stack of them right here.
I'm not surprised.
There's like a stack of them right here.
Literally a stack.
Yeah. So anybody got any questions while we're just kind of shooting the shit around here? 66 minutes to go. 66 minutes to go. We need $474 to make 19,000. So while you're hanging out tonight, guys, be sure you post the links around. Make sure your friends and family know all about what is going on. Yeah. I think that's kind of all the news. That was like an hour's worth of news.
There's a lot of news. Or a lot of news and a lot of hints and non-news.
A lot of teasers.
A lot of teasers.
Yeah, a lot of teasers.
That's okay. Again, we are used to it from you.
Yeah. But if you're a Patreon member, you already know a lot more than what we've told here. Did I get goodies? I did a little bit of shopping. There's some comics for next week's Sunday show. I got some stuff. But nothing major. I didn't have time. I had too many people to hunt down in that show and make sure that I got FaceTime with them. And there's a couple of people that I didn't even get to, which really bummed me out. Oh, I did get to meet. Well, I've already known Ryan, but I did get to talk to Ryan Otley before he left and gave him Critter figure. Because his art is on the front of the box of the Critter figure. So I was like, dude, you have to have one of these. And he was like, what the hell? You made like a real toy? I was like, yeah, dude, this is like, dude, yeah. He was like, that's awesome. Cool. So I'm hoping that that'll keep the doors open a little bit, and maybe we can get him to come back and do something next year too.
That'd be sweet.
I don't see him too often. Usually I only see him like at San Diego, but I haven't been at San Diego in years. So, when he was there, I was like, I have to take that shot. And I got about 5 minutes with him. So hopefully that'll open the door, and we'll get him to come back and do something too.
Well, did something. You definitely gave him something to remember. You kept yourself memorable. So that's always a good thing. Yeah,
I hope so. He can show that to Kirkman, and we can do an Invincible Critter crossover. That's
there
fun.
We go.
We'll do that. That'll be fun. It's fine, Robert. It's fine. Don't worry.
It's fine. It's all fine.
It's fine.
Everything's fine.
Yeah, it's all fine. Have no fears. That's about all I got. I think. You got anything, Shawnee? That you got questions or anything you want to talk about?
Nope. I'm good. I'm just, dude. Work has had me. I'm just surviving. So it's like. This is all fun because I get to let my brain just kind of go enjoying it all.
Yeah.
So, having fun reading digitals as they come in when I get a chance. I'm behind on that because life is weird.
Did you read the PVZ digital?
I have not not yet.
Oh.
I know.
I got a lot of messages about that.
Yes.
Digital. Yeah, I get a lot of messages.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, they were good messages, but they were very like, "Yo, that was fucked up," kind of messages, and I was like, "Yeah, it kind of was," but I think it was in fact, Freddie kind of really hit on it. Like, well, I don't want to really spoil it, but Freddie was like, that moment is gonna like trigger a lot of specific types of people. Again, I don't want to spoil it, so we'll let you guys read it. But and I was like, yeah, I that when I got there, I knew when we turned into the library in this scene, I didn't know what was going to happen. But as soon as I walked the characters into the library, all the dominoes fell over. And I was like, oh, I know exactly what is going to happen right here. I know this is a moment for big character sort of growth,
drama,
all of it together. Like this is a moment. And as at the same time, I was kind of thinking like, this is one of those moments that can define a book. This is one of those moments that if we were to turn this into like a movie, this would be the scene that when people walked out, they'd be like, what the fuck? And it would be that memorable, that one, if nothing else, they would never walk out of that movie and not remember that part. And Freddie, back me up. Tell me if I'm right about that thought, because that was the messages that I was getting. I was like, they were like, yo, and I was like, I know, but it was like good, right? Yeah, it was really good. And it really pushes the book kind of almost into a new phase, which is kind of character focused, versus like just the snappy wit of it all. So we kind of take a level up with that scene, and then that'll let us take the whole book into, new levels and kind of escalate everything that we're doing. So yeah, I'm glad it kind of struck people. Because if that didn't land, I might not. I would have been like, well, maybe I don't know what I'm doing if that one didn't land, but it landed, and so I kind of was like, okay, I feel like now I understand what this book is, where we need to go, how do we take these characters into the proper, examinations of themselves, versus just the hey, it's Hot Topic Barbie, like that's fine, but we want to take it a little. We want to get these characters. That's what I always say, right? Is like all this zombie stuff is usually pretty bland because the characters are bland. So in this case, we've got kind of this snappy, like, TV show dialogue that's going on, which is great because it keeps it active and moving, but we need to know who these people are more. And so that's what we get to do now, kind of as we're going forward with it. And, I absolutely have plans for, what we're going to do next and how it's going to work. So, that was really good. That was really good. I was pleased.
Tom was pleased.
Yeah.
All is right with the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 58 minutes. So guys, remember, we are going to do the raffle tonight. As soon as we get our final backer count, we will be raffling off 9 books this evening. Artist editions.
Yes.
So they will be this trading card, right? But it will be presented as a cover, that there will be 10 of them. Of course, Romano is a big DC guy over the years too. So this was always one of my favorite covers that he did. This was Critter 11, 12. I want to say this was 13. Maybe it was 14. It was 13 or 14. Always liked the cover. The colors are really cool too. When you see the colors, it's a very kind of pop art color version versus some of the stuff that we normally do. So anyway, so that will be the cover. It will be a line art cover. So it'll be like a pencil and ink looking cover for you guys, and we're going to give away 9 of those. So yeah. Freddie says, "I can see the characters showing more and more who they are underneath their Halloween costumes." Yeah, that's the whole thing, and that's how we're going to be able to pitch and sell this thing with somebody to make a movie out of it, because they're going to want character aspect of some kind, and some heavy dramatic moments, and that's what we got in Princesses versus Zombies #2 for you. And we'll push that forward, of course. What's up, Mr. Katz? Dun, dun, dun. Yes, I'm trying to figure out the next PVZ as well. I'm not sure when it's going to happen. I think it's going to be next year. Whether it'll be a full #3 or whether we'll do a 2.5, I'm not sure yet. But I have to kind of figure out how I want to tell this story, and like last time, I mean, I guess it's been out long enough. Last time we saw that not all the princesses have happy endings so far. The mermaid had a rough night in 1.5. So, I'm kind of debating a thought process of continuing the alternating things and kind of show some aspects of the world that aren't sort of that core group of people too. So I don't know. That part I haven't figured out yet.
Still working on that?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think we will have a PVZ next year. Next year I want to try. We're going to focus a lot on Penny for Your Soul next year, because again, 15-year anniversary. We'll start with Critter, and then we'll have a lot of Penny for Your Soul. But I want to try and sprinkle in things that are, representative of a good portion of the stuff we do. The BD15 anthology will, that'll help us a lot. I had written down what I was going to do for that. Now I don't know if I know where my list is. What is this?
Well, which list are you looking for? You have many.
Yeah. I made a list of what I wanted. Oh, I need that for tomorrow. I made a list of what I thought BD14 should be, or BD15, because I was writing down stuff to figure out, stories and everything. Like, what? Okay, if BD14 is going to have this, what does BD15 have, and so on and so on and so on. But I don't know where that list went. There's too many lists. I apparently have BD14 on 2 lists.
I wouldn't be surprised.
So consolidation is necessary. But I will say that I think I'm going to have one of the things that we're going to have is I'm going to write my first. I will actually be writing it, not just overseeing it. I'll be writing a Scheherazade story for BD15. So I think that is going to be part of it, and then I just got to figure out what the other 2 parts are going to be. But that I think is going to be one aspect of it. So, with Scheherazade winning the pillow fight contest, I was kind of like, that was obscure. Obscure, but it kind of told me.
We'd like to keep you on your toes, Tom.
Yes. Yeah, clearly. I can never make the plan when it's a vote, because whatever I think is going to happen, I'm going to be wrong. I am going to be wrong. Well, Rex the Zombie Hunter is not my book. That belongs to Rob Anderson. And I haven't seen Rob in a long time. Unfortunately, the comic book industry business tends to eat people up. And more often than not, somebody will put one thing out, and then that's just it. That's just it. They don't have the energy, the time, the whatever to kind of keep going. I've watched it happen for all of my 14 years of doing this. I've watched people come in with like great, like, woo, let's do the thing, and then it just kind of dwindles right off. And you know,
next year we're all we notice it too, girls. We're kind of going, what happened to?
yeah. And this was, and really crowdfunding makes it easier now, but crowdfunding also has its own level of problems because the back end of things is not what people are ready for. All the shipping and all that kind of stuff. So it used to be you just make a book, you send it to Diamond, it goes to stores, and it's just kind of that's it. That's your process. Yeah. But with crowdfunding, it's you have to actually sell the thing and make the thing and print the thing and ship the thing, and then you got to do it again, and it takes a lot of energy. So while crowdfunding makes things easier in a sense, it's still got its own set of difficulties. Sure. But even back in the day when we were we were in that normal system, I would watch people come up and they'd be, hey, let's make comics. And, I think it was one of the reasons why we had so many people coming to us right at the beginning. Like, who the hell are we? But we had people like, hey, would you publish my book? I'm like, why? We're not anybody. Like, what do you want me to do? And I learned quickly that they wanted my energy. They were like, well, Tom's doing this, and if we give him our book, he'll do it for us. And I was happy to do it with the guys that we did it with. I was kind of bummed for Wayne Gardner and Nightingale, because he came on and he did that volume with us that did really well. And then we went to Aspen, and so it just kind of was like, we can't, there's nothing there, to do with Nightingale. And so Nightingale kind of just went away as well, which was kind of a bummer. But
it was a bummer.
yeah. And I don't know what Wayne's up to. Again, it's the energy and the time to maintain doing it. And it's not easy. It's not easy at all.
Well, you've talked about this as well too, and I think that it's some of the new ones come in, and it's hard because even if they have a great concept to do that, I think a lot of sometimes if they really haven't done the research and they haven't talked to people, they come in and they really don't have true expectations of just how hard it can be, and again, so they lose that momentum and everything else because they think they're going to come in and just, I wrote a great thing and I found a cool artist and we're just going to go like gangbusters. And unfortunately, you have to keep up that momentum. You have to have, everything else. And I think a lot of people underestimate the effort they have to put into it in order to make it continually keep going.
Yeah. And the key is to finish something. Because
it's also hard for a lot of people.
Yeah. Because here's the thing, anyone can make one issue. I mean, like anyone can make one issue, but can you do 4 and tell a story and like finish your story arc? Even if it's not a complete story, it's like a finished arc. Like that's what you have to do. That's the mindset.
And can you blend it in if you want to do another? Can you blend it into the second and have it time? I mean, are you going to start it? Yeah, it's like what are you going to do after that?
And a lot of people.
Again, I am not. I'm more proud of people like you and those who are able to do it successfully. It's not necessarily a dig. It's just unfortunate, because I would love it if more could actually make that accomplishment and see that follow through, because it would be
well. And I think that's
more than.
And I think that's why a lot of people look for publishers, because they just they look at it as, well, I can just focus on the creative side and they can do all the other stuff. And that's to a degree that's true, except that most of the time those publishers really don't do anything for you as far as like promotion or anything. Like, it's still on you to promote the thing. All they're really doing is sending you to their printer and putting you in the Diamond book and whatever. So it's very hit and miss with publishing or going with publishers. AP has been really great for me. They talk about us all the time on their Facebook pages and stuff. Whenever our books come out, they're talking about them. Brian Denham has been great with me as far as like asking me how I want to do it. what do you want to do, Tom? Like, how do you see this working, and whatever. And they're very just open to kind of whatever I want to do. And so next year, actually, we're going to be expanding what we do a little bit with them. So there, and Brian was like just totally open to all of that. So so it's good. It's good.
Cool.
I don't have any complaints about those guys at all. And we're not selling, crazy gangbuster numbers, but we're selling respectable numbers for what is essentially a third printing of a book.
And you're selling consistent numbers in a lot of ways too. For
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Which is a big deal for indie.
Yeah. We went from like 1,800 on issue 1 to like 1,500 on issue 2. And then they're supposed to have issue 3 numbers pretty soon. So we'll see if there's any more drop or if we're just kind of in the same spot. But it's still the only thing that I can contemplate is why Critter is where it is for January and for now, because I fully expected to max out at around 15,000 on these campaigns, like max out at 15. And we did 20 on the last campaign, and this one we're got a shot at hitting 19. And the only thing that I can think of, the only difference is that AP is talking about us. We're in stores now for number 2 comes out this week. So we're in stores now, but just AP has talked about us, and we got a lot of general jibber jabber when the announcement came. Maybe even honestly more so than when we went to Aspen. But I think that was kind of, again, it was just sort of how it was marketed, how it was talked about, social media. I mean, even when I went in with Aspen, that was almost, Jesus, it was 10 years ago. I was with Aspen. That's way too long to think about that. That's 10 years has gone by. The internet
has it really
was
been that long? Oh my God.
the internet was very different back then. Even 10 years ago, the internet was very different. So just the way that you're able to market and do things on the internet and social media in general, like it's just different. So when we announced it with AP, there were people all over the AP channels that were like, what? I know what this is. Like, this is super cool. Like, I was like, wow, that's kind of wild.
Mm-hmm. That is kind of wild. Well, I mean, 10 years ago, the internet was different and everything else. Well, and then, even 5 years ago, and then COVID changed everything again.
Oh, sure.
So, so it's just, I guess, so there's all these, you get to this point, everything's very, very different.
Yeah.
So, but there's possibilities, though. I mean, to use those differences, it's like there's growth, like you've seen AP and everything else, new audiences, old audiences. So, still potential.
Oh, indeed. Indeed. 44 minutes, guys. 44 minutes. If you guys have questions, let me know. We're here to hang out with you guys too. So, I know y'all want to see the thing, but we still got 45 minutes before, we can do the thing. So tell us what you need to know. Iron butterflies are out as well. I know some people started getting those. Those have happened. And somebody reminded me I didn't post the digital, so I'll post the digital for that tomorrow. Okay. But that was cool. That actually is right here.
I think mine is supposed to show up Monday.
Dun, dun, dun. Came out really good.
Excited.
Jason Hare and Gat Melvin did a great job. This was some work. Because when you see it and you see how it's drawn and the angles and things, I think it came out really, really good. And then Gat had to, really kind of figure out how all this works, because we've never really had Iron Butterfly in this much focus before. So it came out really good. I am pleased. And then it's cool to see the old book too. The issue 19, which is her first full appearance. She makes sporadic appearances earlier on, but this is a little origin story for the character, semi origin story. Yeah. This was the first book that I did layouts for. So it was. I knew there was no way I was going to be able to write and describe what I wanted, so I literally just drew this stuff out to kind of lay things out, kind of like this, and kind of like this, and kind of like this, and Jason had to kind of interpret the script and the sketches to get what we wanted, and we still tinkered and tweaked and monkeyed around with it, and whatever. So, but
technical terms, tinkered and tweaked.
Tinkered and tweaked, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That's definitely comic book talk.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it came out good though. I'm happy with it, and once people get it and they kind of understand what it is, that'll give us an opportunity to do more of them. I got a couple ideas of ones that I want to do to help expand the Critterverse out a little bit. But we want to let everybody understand what the heck the product actually is before we do another one. So, you know. 40 minutes, 40 minutes, 40 minutes. If you're watching, guys, and you have not pledged, please do so, or you cannot be part of the raffle. Cannot win. You can't win.
Hey, Tom, show them what they might potentially win again.
Okay.
There we go.
So this you'll automatically just get. This will be a nice little trading card. Art card, line art card, printed on a matte paper, so it'll kind of have a look of original art. And then this card will be turned into a full-size comic book cover, of which we are making 10. One of them goes to the archive, and the other 9 will be given away.
Dun, dun, dun.
Tonight to random people.
Mm-hmm.
9 random people.
So find that link to the campaign.
And where is it not in here? Oh my God. How is it not in here? Hold on. That's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. This is crazy. And because we were just talking about Iron Butterfly, we did unlock the Iron Butterfly Chibi Magnet as well. Speaking of Bun Leong from earlier. So that is yours. And this magnet for Cricket is yours. And this is the other card that you're going to get. Mm-hmm. This is also already unlocked. That was the card that we also turned into a cover that we gave away about 10 days ago. So that was an art cover as well. So that's a card you'll get. And Terry Parr is going to do a bonus pinup for the book. That's not the pinup. That's just cover art examples. But he's going to do a critter cover. It was voted on by the backers. It was almost rookie, but Critter snuck out the victory. And so he is going to do a Critter bonus pinup that will be added into the book. And those are your stretch goals that we have for it.
Nice.
Feeling random.
Mm-hmm.
Case of the freeze. Yeah, cricket's facing the other way. That's right. Right.
Yep. Good of you to notice.
Yeah. Forgot to vote. We told everybody to vote, Albert. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. You're still gonna get a cool pinup. So don't worry.
Yep.
Don't worry. Have no fear. Have no fear. 37 minutes, y'all. reminded you live. Yeah. Yeah. That's what we do.
It happens.
That's what we do. Absolutely. Yeah, Albert missed our 200th episode too because he hadn't been around for a bit on our live sales.
Yep.
So had no tickets, and then of course we had people that did have tickets that got drawn that weren't in the show. So like,
Multiple times.
yeah, they just kept getting drawn, but they were not in the show. So our 200th show was pretty wild, and yeah, man, you just gotta come hang out, man.
Oh,
You
it
never
was
know
fun.
what
Yeah,
you're gonna see there.
It was Albert cheered us on, and it was a lot of fun. It's always fun when Albert joins the chat.
Yeah, man. Every Wednesday, just come in and hang out. You never know what books we might pop up on there. It might float your boat. You're not obligated to buy anything. You're welcome to just come chill out on our
My
shows.
name got called a lot more than I thought it would. So I'll consider it.
You had a bunch of tickets. Yeah,
a fair amount.
You know.
So I was able to. So the way you did it this time around made it easier for me to get a more substantial amount. So.
Well, you had that one. You bought that mystery box, so that immediately got you 10 tickets just right off the bat. So
that helped a lot.
Boom. And then we had the big print sale. Mm-hmm. Everybody stocked up on prints. That was cool. We can do that again.
Cool prints.
Yep, yeah, we can do that again one of these days. Yeah. Yeah. So we'll be back on Comic Book Shopping Network on Facebook next Sunday. We'll have some stuff. This weekend is Free Comic Book Day. Yes. So I will be out at Comics and More again. I think, I'm trying to figure this out. I think this is my 6th consecutive year at Comics and More, minus the 2 years that we had COVID. But I think this is my 6th consecutive year that I'm out there with Chris Brown and Comics and More. So I will be there this weekend, and that is in Madison Heights, Michigan, over by Detroit. So if anybody is over that way, y'all are welcome to come up. Chris has a
stop
cool
on
store.
By, check it out.
Yeah, he does tons of back issues and stuff. He usually has 3 or 4 people coming to hang out. There is, let's see what the weather says now. There is, unfortunately, a chance of rain this weekend. Let's see if it's still a chance of rain this weekend. Yeah, it's still a chance of rain. Okay. Which would suck because we tend to do this outside. But, we'll see. Hopefully it'll zip around us. But it is what it is. So we're going to do that, and then we'll have a week off, and then I do 3 in a row. So then I go up to Traverse City, Michigan, which is North Michigan, up at the top. Got invited to go up to C4, Cherry Capital Comic Con, C4. And Steph Menard will be there. She did work on the Jasmine book for Princess vs. Zombies, the BD13 anthology. M.R. Gunn will also be there. He's done tons of covers for us. And I think Dirk Manning's going to be there as well. He wrote part of our Oz series. And then the week after that, we do Motor City for the first time ever, Detroit, Michigan. We will be at Motor City. I will be there with CB Zane for the weekend. And then Steph Menard is going to come in on Sunday to hang out with us. And then M.R. Gunn is also going to be at Motor City. So we'll have a few people at Motor City if you guys need to get some signatures and so on. And then the week after that, I go to New York for the Oz show, the Oz Stravaganza show in New York. And then it's a week off. And then I go to Albuquerque for Duke City Comic Con. So it's going to be 5 shows in 7 weeks. So that's
You
a
won't
lot.
be tired.
Yeah, that's a lot. That
lot.
is a lot for me.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. But at least the Michigan stuff is close. So it's only a couple hour drive. It's not too bad. It's pretty easy. So yeah. That's that is the plan. And then there's a small possibility that I will be at San Diego Comic-Con this year. Because AP has invited me to come out and be part of the booth. I just don't know if it's going to work. So much happening in June and July. It's just going to be chaos. So I don't know. I even thought about just like flying in, but God, I hate to fly so much. Like I hate it so much. So much.
I know. Well, if it doesn't work out, I totally get anyone else. But like I said, I'm going to keep my fingers crossed that you're able to come out, because it would be really nice to be able to see you and say hi in person again. So I get a chance to give you a hug. But like I said, if you can't make it work, or you don't have the energy for it, I got this. Life is good.
Yeah, I really want to get back. There's a chance that I might talk to San Diego about coming back in to do a booth next year, because again, 15-year anniversary. So I might talk to them about that and see if that's a possibility. I don't know. But we want to do a few things. Like I want to go to Emerald City again next year. I want to get back there, but that's not always easy to get into. And it's a long travel as well. I am starting to look into the thought process of, flying to some of these places and shipping stuff. I have to kind of figure out the logistics of it,
Sure.
So when I go to Duke City, I'm going to talk to the promoter there, because I know Jim really well, and I'll talk to him like, how do these people do this shit? Like, tell me how they do it, and then let me see if I can do it. And if I can do it, then
give me the inside scoop.
Yeah, it may, the cost may be the same as far as travel and shipping and everything, but my time would be reduced. So instead of driving 4 days to get somewhere, I can fly in and fly out a few days, so it would change the scope of what I can do. We'll see. We'll see how that plays out. But that's a part of what we want to do. We'll see. And then let's see, July, August. I don't have my spreadsheet, my Comic-Con sheet open. Convention list. So August, I will be August 3rd. Oh, that's interesting. That's the week after San Diego. August 3rd, I will be at MightyCon in St. Louis, 3rd and 4th. And then September, I will be at Monroe PopCon, September 13th and 14th. They've invited me. They invite me every year. I'll be there with CB Zane for that one. And then in October, we got invited to Big Texas Comic-Con down in San Antonio, and they're bringing me and they're bringing Nihai out. So we're going to be sort of co-guests down there for that. And then in November 9th and 10th is Akron Comic-Con. And that is, again, I'll be down there with CB doing that. And that's our last quarter of the year is that. So yeah, it's a lot of cons this year.
That's a lot. Yeah.
It's a lot of cons this year. I don't know that I'm really, it's a lot, man. It's a lot. That's a little more than we're used to. And I know that next year, again, we want to be in a lot of places next year, particularly some places that we haven't been in a while, like even going back to C2E2 and doing stuff like that. So we'll see how all of that plays and, where we might end up. What's up, Jason? What's going on, man? What is happening?
Well, yeah, I think it was last year. I think whatever it was like literally a handful of conventions that you're doing, and now this year it's like
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we got invites started happening,
it's good. Yeah.
oh,
And so,
geez. All right.
yeah.
Like, I don't even know who the people at Big Texas Comic Con are. So, the fact that
Random
they were like,
invites. I love
bring
it.
Tom and Nei down here, I was like, okay,
Okay.
that works. That's good.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm good with that.
Well, that's always kind of what you said. It's like, look, you wouldn't mind doing more and doing more carnivals, but you need the invite because money and to make it worthwhile.
Yeah.
So the
Particularly
universe
for the,
apparently the universe was listening.
particularly for those long shows. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just too much. It's just too much. But
Careful what you ask for.
yeah, apparently I gotta
Hi, Jason.
learn to say no sometimes, I guess. Nope, can't do it. But no, it's fine. Texas is a weird one for me because we haven't really done much in Texas. I did Houston once.
Mm-hmm.
We did El Paso twice. And we did San Antonio, a different show, a long time ago. I wasn't there. We sent a crew there because it was 2 shows at the same time. It was
Okay.
there. And it was. What the hell was the other one? Pittsburgh, maybe? I don't know. But we had to be in 2 places at once, so we had 2 teams. But I didn't do the San Antonio run. I went somewhere else. So, that wasn't it. I was thinking of the belt buckle things. That was Austin and Detroit.
Not yet, Jason. Not yet.
There are no winners yet. Not as of yet.
We haven't done the spinneroonie yet.
Yeah, we're coming into our final 20-ish minutes here.
Mm-hmm.
25 minutes. So once that's done and we have everybody officially in as far as backers, that's when we'll have a backer count and we will tell everybody what they've won. If anything.
Tell them what they won, Johnny.
Everybody's got to win sometime, Jason.
So I shouldn't ruin it by rooting for you, Jason. Yeah. Texas really is, I think, sometimes its own country. Or they want to be. Yeah.
It'll take you 12 hours just to get from one side to the other.
Yep.
It's huge.
It really is.
I remember going through there a couple of times. I went to Jen King's store, Space Cadets, for a signing one time. And it took a long time to get there and then took a long time to get out. Yeah, California is too. California, if you go north to south, California.
Yeah, but it's funny because California is, north to south it is. East to west, not so much. Texas, the whole thing is no matter which way you go.
Yep.
It's a long distance.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Texas. Well,
I remember having to drive. I used to drive from California up to Seattle. So we'd go all the way through California, all the way through Oregon, and all the way through Washington to get to Seattle. So that was a drive.
Yes.
I did a Bakersfield on one time.
I've done it once. That was enough.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So. Yeah, if you take California actually and you pin it in the middle, like a spinner in the middle of Texas, and you spin it, California, I don't think would actually go over Texas's borders. It would just
5 to 6 hours in either direction. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't miss California.
Yeah.
Don't miss it. In the
Albert, when I lived in the middle, it was the same. Now I'm on the southern end, so depending on which way I want to go, it's really long. This is why I don't drive to go visit my parents.
I think the only thing that I liked about California was that it was only 3 hours from Vegas. That's the selling point. Come to California, it's 3 hours from Vegas.
Vegas, exactly.
Yeah, it's good. Because even when I'm in Arizona, that's like 5 hours to Vegas. It's like, I got to really want to go at that point. But 3 hours is pretty simple. 3 hours is pretty simple.
Yep.
Barry Dutter is a big Vegas guy. So I told him, like, I'm going to be out west in June for a while. If you're going to go to Vegas, let me know, and we'll go play your blackjack system up there.
There we go.
make a little cash money.
Money.
Yeah, I like Vegas. It's Vegas. I don't know what it looks like. I don't even remember the last time I was there. I guess I was there there was a couple of cons there. There was like Amazing Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
Or not Arizona, obviously. Amazing Las Vegas.
Amazing Las Vegas, yep.
I was there with Nei a number of years ago. And then there was like Great American Con there that I did that with Stephanie Taylor. She was cosplaying Critter.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did do Toy Con once. Patrick Robinson is a friend of mine who's out there. So we did do Toy Con. That was not great, but that's because it was Toy Con.
It was Toy Con.
So while there was artists there, and there was an artist alley.
The name kind of says it all.
Yeah, clearly it was like those people are there for the toys. Now, if I had the Critter toy at the time, things might have been a little different. Yeah, but you never know. You never know. But yeah, I used to like. In fact, there was something I just watched. Oh yeah, I just watched because we were talking about the alien stuff. I watched Mars Attacks not long ago, and they filmed Mars Attacks in Vegas at a time when there was a hotel called La Concha, the La Concha Inn. Is that what it's called? Concha. Vegas. Yes, La Concha Inn in Vegas. And I'm going to show you a picture of it because it's a really wild hotel.
No, which is in Vegas is saying something.
Yeah, totally. 100%. And the only reason I even know what this is because we went there one time and we didn't have a place to stay. We didn't plan ahead or anything. And we're just driving down the strip, and then here's this crazy looking thing, and we stayed there, and it was a nice little place. But it is no longer there. It's been long since torn down, but the fact that it still exists in Mars Attacks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it still exists in Mars Attacks. They run by this place many times. I was like, oh, that's cool. Like La Concha is eternal now somehow.
It is eternal. It's forever in history. I love it. Yep, it's immortalized.
This wild little bizarre.
That is a cool, funky place. That's very unique.
Yeah. So the La Concha Inn.
La Concha.
Saved our butts because I was like, we were having a problem finding a place. Maybe it was just the price or whatever, because you can always get a hotel, but I think the price might have been a problem. And so we just jumped in there and I remember staying there. So that was fun. But like I've stayed in a bunch of those places. The Luxor is interesting because it is literally a pyramid. And so you're like, when you go to the window, it's on a steep, like you're literally looking out the angle of the pyramid. So it's not like a square
it's on an incline
wall. Yeah. And the hotel or the elevators, like it's not just up, like it's this weird sideways. Like you can feel it. It's like sideways. It's almost like you're on one of those walking like sidewalks.
Yep.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. You're just like, we're going sideways. This is weird. But that one was cool. I used to stay at Excalibur all the time. The place is a wreck now.
Yeah, it is, sadly. But Luxor,
Yeah,
at least when my husband and I were there back in the day, it was okay. Like you said, it's interesting, but for us it wasn't even because of the airport, but the hotel itself. It was the way I think it was constructed. It was loud. It was really loud. Everything was
well, yeah,
loud.
it's South Strip, so it's right down by the airport.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but I mean,
South
just
Strip.
even when you're in your room, it's like the elevators and just everything. I don't know if this. It was just yeah. Every time we walked around, it was like you could hear. I'm like, this. They need better soundproofing. This is not good.
Mirage we used to stay at a couple of times. I've stayed at the Stratosphere. I don't know. That might be it. I've been in almost all of them just to be in them. But I think that's just kind of where we've stayed. But yeah, back in the day, the Excalibur was new and it was clean and it was fun but those places, they just don't do anything to upgrade themselves. It takes billions of dollars to renovate all those things. So yeah, it's just declined, and it's cheap for a reason, folks. It's cheap for a reason.
True. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I barely even stay on the Strip. If I go, I'll go off Strip and just stay at like the Red Roof or something. And it'll still be cheaper up there.
Yep. Honestly, I mean, unless you're there for a certain experience and like that, unless you really need the bells and whistles, is as long as it's in a fairly decent area, but has everything working and it's clean.
Yeah.
Because for the most part, you're there for a place to store your stuff and to sleep.
Yep. Yep. Oh, the Orleans. I've been up to the Orleans. That was a decent place. And then part of it is like all of the buffets and stuff, but even the buffets have all drifted off, and they're just kind of all ordinary and all kind of the same now.
I've never been a big buffet fan anyway, so that was never a big appeal to me. So
love the buffet. Mandalay Bay had a decent one, especially if you like crab legs. The Luxor, you go down underneath. It's a decent one. Orleans is okay. Circus is a joke. Don't bother with that. The Mirage one is pretty good. But there was a time when the buffet was like a big deal, but now it's all just kind of the same, which is a bummer. There was a time where I remember the buffets, you would pay like $20 and you would be able to come all day long.
Like okay, so now if that was the case, I might like the buffet better, but yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. Or maybe it had to have been more than that. Maybe it was like $30. Yeah. Like it was a little more than one time. So if it was like $25, it was like $30. You can come back every day because they wanted you to just keep coming back to their hotel.
Right.
So you had a day pass for the buffet.
So that would be a draw. I could see the draw. I could see the appeal to that. But normally for me in most of the buffets, it's like the price that you pay. I can't eat enough to justify that price to begin with. I just can't.
Yeah, you have to eat the right stuff. Like if you're going into the buffet and eating like bread and pizza,
oh no, that's
like
fillers.
You're doing
you don't
it
do
wrong.
The fillers. Yeah, no.
Yeah, you don't bother with the salad and all that. Right. You go find the prime rib and the
and the crab legs stuff. And this. Yeah.
Yes.
The premium. Yes.
That's correct. Correct. Yeah.
Even still for me, it's like after a while I can only. It's like
yeah. And then there's a couple of places that actually have ice cream rather than frozen milk. Yes, there's a difference.
Yes, there is.
So if you can find the places that still have ice cream, that's a key. So you could have good dessert. So yeah. God, I haven't been there in so long. So long. I'm kind of jonesing for it now that I'm talking about it. And since I know Barry goes all the time, I'd be happy to meet up with Barry and
There you
hang
go.
out.
Yeah, have some fun.
So I'm hoping that we'll be able to get him to come do a one of these shows with us when we do that. I know Lori Calcaterra, she's already said she'll come, talk about, working for me, and that amazing. I'm sure it's an amazing experience. It must. It must be an amazing experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can think no other way.
Yes.
If anybody says differently, they're lying.
So we'll get those two on,
Okay.
and that'll be fun. And then we'll see about who all is going to be doing variant covers for it. But Brian will be around. He'll come on, I'm sure. So July, that'll be July. So June 6th to the 21st. And then July, we're doing it July 13th. So normally we start that first Saturday of the month, but I'm actually going to push it to the 13th, and we'll do the 21 days from the 13th. So that'll be the BD 14 thing. And then Critter 24 will be September, October, depending on how far Omar has gotten on doing the lines and everything. So we'll make some decisions at that point. So guys, 11 minutes left, and then we'll see who wins. Who is a winner? You're all winners, everybody. You're all winners.
We're part of the BDI family. Of course we're winners.
Yeah. Yeah. And then don't forget also next year, dun, 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 the Shark Book. The Shark Book. And then in 2026.
Jason's still working hard on it.
Yeah. And then in 2026, we're going to take this book down to Florida to SharkCon.
Yes.
Yeah, boy.
Fun. That'll be fun.
SharkCon, here we come. That will be wild.
That will be wild.
Yeah. Yes. And that'll be, so next year is the 50th anniversary of Jaws and our 15th anniversary. And we will release the Shark Book during that. No, I did not get the digitals, Jason. I blanked on the digitals because we didn't use backer kit, so I wasn't even thinking about digitals. So I'll be posting the digitals for Iron Butterfly tomorrow.
Yeah. No, you didn't miss it. It didn't go out.
So you'll be good. And all the other stuff. There were other things that need digitals as well. So all the digitals will go out tomorrow. I just had totally blanked on doing them because normally we do it through backer kit.
Yep.
And I have a system, but
not this time.
No. No. Not at all. So, but we'll get it to you. 10 minutes, y'all, until the 9 minutes, y'all, until the confetti goes pop.
Yep. The confetti fireworks. So I read issue 2.
You read issue 2 of what?
Princesses.
What, right now?
Mm-hmm. I did it a little earlier. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, my curiosity had to know. I'm like, damn, what are you all talking about? So I read it. You weren't kidding. Holy mackerel. That was intense. There was definitely a moment.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. The other moment I like is when when Cindy hits the zombie with the car.
Yes. That was and Beast's reaction was fun.
Yeah. See, that's the thing, right? Like if you look at that panel, it's great because she's looking up and he's looking up and Bella's looking straight forward because she wouldn't know what the hell's going on.
Exactly.
So, it's those little things that that Ed Wood would have missed that I put in because I'm about the details, Ed.
That's right.
Ed, but yeah, Yeah, there's some cool stuff in that book. I think it came out
Mhm.
good.
It did.
I think it
I
came out
enjoyed
good.
it. I enjoyed it. It was a bit of a whole wow, okay, and then but it was well done. I liked it. And I agree with Freddie that you got to see a lot of the more of the character development.
Mhm.
So you got to see a little bit of who they are as people rather than the costumes they're wearing. So
Mhm.
that was cool.
And
I
that
feel
will
better. I'm in the know now.
continue. 7 minutes. If you haven't backed, you have 7 minutes before the raffle begins.
There's still time.
That's right. 6 minutes until the raffle begins.
Mm-hmm.
The raffle begins.
Dun dun dun.
And then you guys will have about a month, about 5 weeks ish until National Drive-In Day
Mm-hmm.
and the return of Camp Crossover. See, Freddie appreciates
Exactly. Yep.
Freddie appreciates the good things.
Yep. I did. I was sitting over here trying not to giggle too loud. so, so. Oh yeah, the dialogue was snappy.
Gotta keep it snappy.
Gotta keep it snappy. Yeah.
Gotta keep it snappy. And then in that, you start to figure out who these people are.
Yeah.
Jason, we're talking about Princesses versus Zombies, #2. The book we just we just released the digitals, but the book is at the printer right now, so we'll have it for you guys in about a month or so. Once they are all done making it.
And is the plan? I'm sorry if you already said this. I'm just my brain. Based on how it comes out, Pete versus the Princesses and Ursa are probably going to be together.
Oh yeah. They are at the printer at the same time.
Cool.
So yes, they will be arriving here at the same time. They will be arriving at you at the same time. Yes,
Nice.
absolutely.
So big box of goodness.
That's correct.
I love it.
That's correct. Yeah.
Very, very cool. I'm excited.
And then Critter won't be far behind that.
Okay.
So a big swoosh of comics for everybody. And then, like I said,
I was looking at what I pledged and all the different things I'm counting it out, going, "Yep, I'm going to be getting a big old box."
it's good. It's good.
Yep.
Big old box. That's good.
Big old box. Big old box. I think the last time I had a big old box for me, it was like, open the trunk, thump. My husband was like, "What the hell was that?" Nothing. Just comics.
Let's see. So, Jason. 20 other things.
Are you checking?
This is the regular cover. See if it
Jogs a memory.
Yeah. There we go. Ding.
Ding.
There's your basic cover right there. Continuation of the cover from issue #1, where we were doing the Walking Dead homage.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you'll have to see what's left.
Yeah.
Grab some books once we get them on the web store, or again, you can come get them on the
Big Dog, the
the Big
Doghouse Show.
Dog
Yeah.
Web Show, Comic
Yeah.
Shopping Network. Yep.
That's what I was saying. I was thinking, come to one of the shows because usually you have sometimes you'll have the A covers. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Makes
If you just want A covers on things, we've got them.
Mhm.
I don't always show them on the show,
Right.
but we've got them for sure.
Yeah. So check out the web store. Check out the show. So get you caught up.
2 minutes.
Dun, dun, dun.
2 minutes. I might as well go get the random spinneroonie wheel.
Spinneroonie wheel. Oh, yeah, mine just flipped over to seconds.
Come on. There we go. I think that's it. Yes, there we go. So many different spinneroonie wheels. It's crazy.
Different spinneroonie wheels.
Yeah.
All right. There it is.
So, Christian. One minute, guys, and then we go and do our raffle.
Dun, dun, dun.
Looks like we are going to have 291 backers.
Well,
Whoops. Oh, no, but that's just how many backers. That's not the actual number.
right.
Because we have dropouts and it doesn't adjust the numbers from there. So let's see. This is our most recent backer. This is backer number 317. Okay. 317. There we go. There we go.
Dun, 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 dun.
And there's the confetti. Kapoof, kapoof, kapoof.
Kapoof.
Dun, dun,
Yay.
dun. All right, guys. So 291 people are in this thing. If we land on a digital backer, that doesn't count. We will
Has to be a physical. Yep.
be a physical reward. So we'll spin again. Also, if it's somebody who won previously, they can't win again.
Okay. So you got your list though, so you can.
In theory, actually, I have it because I wrote it down on the updates, so I can
Okay.
just find the previous.
Oh, there you go. That's right. You did.
Let's see. Where is the update? Winners. There it is. Winners. All right. So we'll just write these numbers down real quick. That way we can double check easily. You cannot win 2 times. There we go. Okay. So 19, 25, 26, 46, 78, 127, 128. Wow, we had 2 in a row. Twice.
Mhm.
152
Yeah, we did.
and 181. Okay, so these guys cannot win. And we're going to get this fired up here. So let me get back here. We're going to turn this one off. And
you don't have to be present to win, but you can only win once.
That's correct. And we're going to share this one. Let's see. Where is the thing? There's that. Share screen. Share screen. right here. Share. Okay.
There it is in all its glory.
Yes. Okay. So we're going to spin this 9 times, guys. 9 times. If we land on either a digital backer or someone we have already hit for the previous raffle, we spin again. Okay. And then at the once all the credit cards and stuff are paid, if anyone has dropped out from that element, we will re-raffle anything that needs to be re-raffled. Okay. So here we go.
Complete with sound.
2, 5, 3. I got to get back to the thing here.
Scroll. That's recent enough. That's not a lot of scrolling.
2, 5, 3 is oh, I know that's Scott Hart.
Okay.
2, 5, 3. That's one of our regular guys. All right.
Congrats, Scott.
8 more to go. Let's see. Remove choice. Spin again.
There she goes.
One, 5, 4. 1, 5, 4 is Roy, and I think I know who that is.
Okay.
He's also, if that's the Roy that I know, he has a tendency to drop out. So
we'll
see.
We'll see.
It also may be a different Roy, but
could be
that is potentially a dropout guy, but we'll see.
We'll see.
All right, moving on. 2, 4, 2.
Slacking them high numbers.
2, 4, 2. Oh, is Shiloh? I know Shiloh.
All right.
Excellent. 2, 4, 2. Remove choice. No, the last time we had early numbers. We had 19, 25, 26, 46. So we had early numbers.
Yep. There's still a chance, I know.
Oh, yeah, we had them. For sure we had them. 1, 5, 3. Oh, that's crazy. We have 1, 5, 2, 1, 5, 4, and now 1, 5, 3. That's crazy. That's crazy.
It needs to work on its randomness.
1, 5, 3. Oh, that's Mr. Madison. Yes, that he does. He always buys a ton of stuff.
Nice.
Mr. Madison. All right. Remove choice. Again. That's a low one right there. 83.
Now it's a scroll.
83. 83 is someone who has backed out.
Oh.
So.
All right. Spin again.
Choice.
Get another try.
Remove choice. Spin again. Two, 1, 7. 2, 1, 7 is Jim. I don't know who that is.
Yeah, new name
necessarily, but okay. He's in there, and he's got a physical book.
All right.
And that's all you need.
Yep.
Remove choice. Here we go. We have 4 more to go, guys. 4 more to go. 150. Let's see. That should be about here. Nope, wrong page. 150 is a back out.
All right.
So we remove and go again.
Yep.
There's an earlier one. 87. No, we had 78. So 87. 87 is Mr. Greg De Leon.
Oh, congrats, Greg.
Mr. Greg.
Nice. I'm happy for him.
Greg has hit it. Remove choice. Go again. We have 3 more to go. 3 more to go. Oh, it's a low one again. 39.
Ooh, 39.
39 is that is a physical book. Is Chris Casillas? I know Chris. 39.
I think I know that name too. Mm-hmm.
Yep. He is a regular.
Mm-hmm.
2 more to go, everybody.
Nice.
2 more to go.
And we're back up in the 200s.
28. 228 is a Matthew. I don't know which Matthew that is. 228. And 1 more to go, folks. 1 more to go. 1 more to go. Remove choice. Spin a Rooney.
Round and round.
It's a lower number again. It's 51. 51. That's going to be on page 1. It is not. It's going to be on page 2. 51 is a number or a name I'm not familiar with. That is Tammy. I don't know that. I don't know that Tammy.
All right.
There we go. 51. Now, again, guys, if their credit cards crap out or whatever, I will double check this list. In fact, hold on. Let me double check this list right now for the first one. See if any of these guys have dropped out. 19 is still there. 25 and 26. Oh, 26 has dropped out.
Oh, wow. All right.
26 has dropped out from the
this
original.
Is from the first raffle.
From the original raffle.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's see. 46. 46 is still there. 78 is still there. 127. Excuse me.
Bless you.
127 is still there. 128 is still there. 152 is still there.
Mm-hmm.
And 181. 181 is still there. All right, so we had 1 dropout. So we are going to do the spin-a-rooney right now for the first one that we did.
The
first one that we did.
Jose Luis, right?
Jose Luis one, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So here we go. So we're playing for the Jose Luis to replace the dropout. $93. 93. '93 is Gail Muvaka. We know her absolutely.
All right. Well, congrats
So
to Gail. That's awesome.
placement is 93. Okay, cool.
All right. Well,
All
congrats
right,
to the winners.
so that was just somebody that dropped out completely. Now we have to go through the credit card element. If people crap out on the credit card, then we will again
Do another mini raffle.
re-spin a Rooney for you all.
Re-spin-a-rooney.
Yes. So thank you guys all for being part of the show here, being part of the campaigns.
Mhm.
Appreciate you guys there. Again, you've got about 5 weeks until we hit you with Camp Crossover and Drive-In and the skateboards and the Catnip Awareness Day. Yes, that's a real thing. Catnip Awareness Day. And then July is the BD 14 anthology. So we're going to let you all go. I will be on Carissa Grant's show tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern time. So if you guys are around and you want to hang out, I'll be doing that show. And then we should be here. We should be here on Wednesday for the Doghouse. And then it's Free Comic Book Day next week. So I hope you guys all got something to do. You got something to do?
Oh yeah, I'm doing my annual helping out at my local store.
Okay.
So
okay, there you go.
I show up and lend a hand.
Yep, I'm told that there's a Gotcha Man Battle of the Planets freebie. Man Cave Studios got the license to Gotcha Man, so I'm excited to see that.
Oh, that'd be fun.
I'm friends with Chris Batista here on Facebook, so he shows that stuff all the time. So that's fun. I'm anxious to see that. And I think that's it, guys. We have done what we needed to do. We'll see you on Wednesday night, and then again we'll be back to normal next Sunday with Midnight Collectors Club doing all of our crazy collections and so on. So that's going to do it for us. We'll see you all later. Bye.
Night, everyone.